everyone. My name is Walter Contreras, and I wanted to introduce you to our new app called Datalink BI. So this Datalink BI will help you connect your PSA with Infusionsoft. Currently, we're only supporting ConnectWise to Infusionsoft with plans to release other PSAs in the very near future. So what you want to do is you want to go to create your account, sign up for a new account, put your information here, agree to the terms and conditions. You can see them here if you want to. Once you create your account, you will come over to the login screen and you will be logged into the system. Once you're in the system, there are three major sections that we're going to look at: dashboard, connections, and mapping. Currently, if you are using Infusionsoft opportunities modules from Infusionsoft, then information will come in through this portal. Otherwise, it's going to look empty, and so we'll concentrate mainly on connections and mapping. But for right now, the first thing we want to do is we want to go over the connections so we can connect our PSA and our Infusionsoft. So I recommend two things. One, be logged into Infusionsoft already. That makes it easy. The second thing is you will want to navigate on ConnectWise over to your setup tables. Oh, no, I'm sorry, over to your members. Look for your name and go over to your API keys, and you want to create a set of API keys. I created these right here. So I already created these API keys, but it's as easy as just clicking on the plus sign, giving it a name, and click on save. You will get these keys. Please make sure you copy them because that's the only time you'll have them. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, but that's as easy as creating the API keys. So keep those handy because we're gonna need them on the Datalink connectors. Those are the two things that I will recommend you to do prior to coming onto this screen, okay? So we click on over to Infusionsoft. This is probably the easiest one. You click on the sign in button and it's going to prompt you to allow. Because you're signed in, it's going to prompt you to allow that authentication. It's literally just linking Infusionsoft. So you can test it, actually make sure that it's connected successfully. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to ConnectWise. And here's where you're going to put that information that I just told you about. So let's go over and do that. In my case, this is my company. And this is my information. Your company is part of the company when you log into ConnectWise. These are my public keys. And this is the ConnectWise URL. If you are an on-premise ConnectWise partner, you are going to put that whatever URL you have here, okay? So once you do that, you click on Save on Changes. We're going over to connect our ConnectWise to Datalink. And that might take a little bit. There's some communication going on. And once that's over, you will see this welcome to ConnectWise, right? So again, I want to test that, make sure it's working. And now I have the two connections working. So that was my first step, to make sure that my two applications that I want to communicate with each other are connected. So now I'm going to go over to the mapping portion. Now, some of these items that we'll see in the mapping portion are dynamic, meaning that they're coming due to the fact that your ConnectWise is now connected. Some of this information will come in on its own, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So I'm going to do the first mapping, and the first mapping I'm going to do is I'm going to do Infusionsoft to ConnectWise, and then I'm going to do company, and I'm going to add it. I'm going to do one at a time. I'm going to do contact afterwards, and notice down here that it's thinking, so you want to wait it out until that's done. So that's the company mapping. We'll finish the company mapping. Then I'm going to do the next one, Infusionsoft to connect. It doesn't matter if you do either or, it's just a matter of these two, right? So these are the two that I have available to me, and now I'm going to select the contact portion, and Datalink is thinking, is making those connections, and it will be finished in just a second. So now I have my company and my contact connections between the two, the PSA and Infusionsoft. For those of you who use the opportunities module in Infusionsoft, it's important to set that up as well. So I'm going to do that. And again, this doesn't matter what it is, as long as you select the two you need. And I'm going to go over to select opportunities, and it's going to make the connection. And there it is. So in my case, I do have the opportunity module. So I'm setting up all these trees just so you can see when we go over to the dashboard, this in a little bit is going to start bringing in real-time data from your how many opportunities you have, what current stages those opportunities are in, and it's going to give you some very nice reporting right here. So let's continue with mapping, because I think a lot of us are going to spend more time here, and we're going to spend a lot more time on contacts, right? Because that's technically what we want to synchronize. So I'm going to click on edit, and here's some a lot of these informations that are coming through. They're by default, right? So this is very basic information that you'll always have on your PSA. That we are already syncing. What we want to think about is some of the sync options that are specific to your organization. So I'll talk a little bit about mine, and then perhaps your setup similarly. So I had different contact types, right? Company types, different statuses in ConnectWise. I have territories, different territories, different markets that we service, and so these are important to understand. Now, right now, by selecting this button, I'm only synchronizing anytime I create an opportunity on my ConnectWise, right? I'm only synchronizing by having this option on only opportunities that are in ConnectWise, right? So some people may just want to do their sales follow up through there, and that's a great thing if you have the ConnectWise opportunity, the Infusionsoft opportunity module. But if you don't, and you just want to sync all your contacts, you can go over here and move that toggle over to the blue side, select that off, and then you can select what do you want to sync. So we always recommend to create some sort of a customer type and to do only that one first as a test, just to make sure that you're bringing in the correct information. And then after that, you can come back here and just toggle over what you want. So what I did in our case, I created a software as a service company type, and I did that over in ConnectWise. I went to set up tables, and I went to company type, and I just created that, right? I just did a plus sign, and I did test type, right? And I went ahead and I said, you know what, company XYZ. So I went ahead and created, I just put some information in here, and I said, you know what, this is a test type, and I saved this. Okay. By the way, just notice I gave different phone numbers for the contact and different phone numbers for the company. So I'm going to save and close. So here's my company XYZ test, and I'm just going over to Datalink, and just remind you, this is a test type. I'm going to remove prospect, so it's just one. So I'm going to leave it as the company type test, and I'm going to go over here and say, hey, I want to sync up all of my contacts that are, by the way, one of the rules is that this has to be an active company. So we have to make sure that the status is active for those companies, okay? So we come over here and we say we're gonna refresh this page. And the reason why I'm refreshing is because I need to bring that new type, test type. So I'm moving all the contacts that are active from test type. Gonna save changes. It's gonna confirm it, and it's thinking, and boom. Okay, so now we completed that change, right? I'm syncing, just to review, test type only that are active, and I hit save, right? You always have to hit save. So let's go over to Infusionsoft, right? And I want to look for that company. The name was Mike Test. So I'm gonna look for Mike Test, and there it is, Mike Test. And so just a couple of things here. I want to just talk a little bit about how different Infusionsoft looks at contacts and companies. In the sense of, inside of ConnectWise, we were always taught about companies, the main contact, and then contacts are within that company. In Infusionsoft, it depends on how you look at it, but there could be a contact that may not have a company. In the case of Datalink, we bring the contact information, and as you can see, it has a different phone number. Okay, we bring all the information and email, everything else. And the company, we also synchronize the information as address and everything else. But look, the main phone number for that company was different. So we're actually able to match that as well. And so, and interestingly enough, there's contacts underneath that. So that's basically, in a nutshell, how easy it is to work with Datalink. I hope this was a helpful video. By the way, if you make a change in here, it replicates in ConnectWise and vice versa. So as long as you continuing to have this sync, okay? If you have any questions, please send us an email at support@datalinkbi.app. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Take care.